Monica, you're on.
Good morning on this wonderful Tuesday. My name is Monica Villalobos, and I serve as the President and CEO of your Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have some big news that we want to share with you, and I don't want to do a spoiler alert. I don't want to ruin it, except to say that we are extremely grateful to JP Morgan Chase, and I'm going to hand it over to Noreen Bishop Hill, who is with JP Morgan Chase. To help us kind of share the news with all of you. It's the first time we've done a virtual press conference, so I hope you'll be merciful with us on the technology, but we're really excited to be here. And Noreen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Monica, and good morning. It is wonderful to be here this morning. JP Morgan Chase has had such a long-standing relationship, an incredible partnership with the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And on behalf of our 10,000 colleagues here in Arizona with JP Morgan Chase, I am absolutely thrilled and excited to share this wonderful news of awarding a $475,000 grant to the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, to the Ascent Phoenix program.
Yay!
Absolutely thrilled to do that. As you know, we are committed to assisting and supporting underserved, providing training and resources through the Ascent Phoenix program, training and resources related to management skills, helping to navigate market access through contracts and supply chain relationships, providing access to capital, and developing a network with mentors and others. We know in working with businesses and supporting Black, Latinx, and other underserved businesses, for the additional help and assistance for their businesses to grow and succeed. And on behalf of the Ascend Phoenix program, it is through JP Morgan Chase's Small Business Forward initiative. It's a small business forward program. It's a global initiative that's focused on closing the disparities in business ownership and resilience in fostering economic equality, equity, and growth. The firm recently had announced a $350 million 5-year global commitment to help grow underserved small businesses. The Ascend Phoenix is part of that program to help improve the underlying systems that often prevent marginalized small businesses from getting the access to the resources, the capital, the training, and mentorship that can help their businesses grow and succeed. The $475,000 grant is over 2 years and will build upon a $250,000 grant that I was also privileged to be a part of awarding in 2019 to the Arizona Hispanic Chamber for Ascend Phoenix. And the Hispanic Chamber, one of the incredible successes that the Hispanic Chamber has provided is in collaborating, in bringing together organizations here locally, including the Phoenix MBDA Business Center, Chicano por las Casas, the Prestamos, to help implement the program. It is truly a privilege and an honor to partner together on behalf of JP Morgan Chase with the Arizona Hispanic Chamber and provide this 2-year award of $475,000.
It's amazing, Noreen. Thank you so much. We are so incredibly grateful for your investment across the country, but particularly here in Arizona, where we know businesses were hit very hard. We know from the JP Morgan Chase Research Institute that most small businesses only have about 2 weeks or about 2 weeks afloat or cash reserves. For minority-owned businesses, that's even less. So your investment in us, in Ascent Phoenix, over the next 2 years is absolutely critical to helping what we estimate will be about a third of Hispanic businesses and minority-owned businesses that will go by the wayside because of the pandemic. But because of this investment, we will be able to help them stay afloat, make sure that we're helping with pivoting strategies and other areas. We're going to talk a lot about this program and why it is so important. But more than anything, I want to thank you. I want to thank your colleagues, Seth Moniz and Maura Cordova, and your entire team that has worked with us to make sure that small businesses and minority-owned businesses in Arizona are getting what they need to be able to succeed. This is an investment in success. And thank you so much for being a part of it. And we are thrilled to be a part of the Ascend Phoenix team as well. Noreen, thanks again for being with us.
Thank you, Monica.
Great, wonderful. And now what I'd like to do is introduce you to sort of the man behind the curtain who pulled all this together. Michael Vershow is with us today. And Michael has really been sort of the brain trust and the tip of the spear for all of us in making sure that we are working with our education partners across the country. Every Ascend team has education partners. We have ours, and you'll hear from them a little bit later. But this is Michael's brainchild. So I want to pass it over to Michael Vershow from the University of Washington and have him sort of talk a little bit about this program and why it's so important to small businesses in the United States. Michael, thank you for joining us.
Oh, wonderful to be here, Monica. Thank you for that kind introduction. Only wish that I was in the warmth of Phoenix today, sitting here in Seattle. But really glad to be here. I want to just maybe pick up a little bit on what Noreen was talking about, right? When sort of why small businesses in general and businesses owned by people of color in particular are really important to this economy. We know that in the U.S., 47% of the private sector workforce works for small businesses. And over the last 15 years or so, right, as we look, again, working at an academic institution, right, we always pull data. When looking over the last 15 years, we see that white-owned small businesses in the U.S. have actually decreased the number of employees, right? So they've dropped by about 2 percentage points, where Black-owned businesses have grown their employees by about 50%. Latinx businesses have grown their employees by more than 80%, and Asian Pacific Islander businesses have doubled in terms of number of employees. So as we look at this post-COVID recovery that we're hopefully going to be going through really quickly here, the small businesses are going to be critical to creating those jobs, right? And it's going to be businesses owned by people of color that are at the center of that. But at the same time, we know that those businesses, as you pointed out, Monica, are smaller, right? There are only about 19,000 Black-owned businesses in the U.S. that have revenues of $1 million or more. And there's only about 65,000 Latinx businesses that have revenues of $1 million or more. And so what Ascend is all about, right, is creating these entrepreneurial support ecosystems that connect business management skill development, access to money, so loans and investments, and access to markets through contracting opportunities with government agencies, with private sector employers, so that sort of 3M or that M cubed model is really what will drive success for businesses overall, and in particular for businesses owned by people of color in Phoenix and in the 15 cities across the U.S.
Fantastic, Michael. That's absolutely incredible. And I know that in the Ascend program across the country, you use the 3M model. Can you share the 3M model with us and tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, so what we did is, right, we looked at what the question was, what do businesses need to succeed? Regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation of the business, what does the business need to succeed? And what we recognied, right, and what we know from academic research, is that they need skilled managers, right, skilled leaders at the top. They need money, so loans and investments so that they can grow. And they need market access. They need somebody to sell something to, right? And so that 3M of money, management, and markets. And so when we looked at high growth sectors across the US, whether it be in Phoenix or in Silicon Valley, whether it be in New York or the Research Triangle, was that we saw that there were these entrepreneurial support ecosystems that addressed each of those 3 M's for high growth businesses. But then when we looked at communities of color, we saw that those 3 M's really didn't exist. And so what Ascent is all about is stitching together the money management and markets and that support system that we can grow businesses owned by people of color.
You're really creating this surround sound support system for all of the businesses that participate in an Ascend program. And as you said, these are across the country, and we have ours here in Phoenix that we are so incredibly proud of. And we're going to hear from some of the business owners later in this segment, in this conference. But I also want to thank you, Michael, for really having the vision to work with businesses. Oftentimes there's a disconnect between the academia, and also the business world. And this is a perfect marriage to bring those two together and help them speak the same language. And I think that's absolutely critical in the success of a program like Ascend.
Yeah, I think you're right, Monica. Right, when we look at where do companies grow overall, right? I mean, so where do large companies go to when they want to grow? And they go to business schools. They go to top tier universities. And what we saw was that those top tier universities were largely absent from communities of color, and especially top tier business schools. And so what we're doing, right, is simply saying, that if we're going to grow businesses, we need to leverage the same resources that fast growing businesses leverage, and that's at business schools. And again, it's a new concept. Many business schools aren't involved, but it's really exciting to see in Phoenix that you have two leading higher ed institutions that you're working with to help accelerate management skill development and the growth of businesses owned by people of color.
Wonderful, Michael. And I hope you'll stay in with us. I know we've got press on the line, and they'll have questions at the end of this. We're going to do a little Q&A, but I'm going to move to kind of our local folks, my colleagues, Lynn Graves, who runs the Nabedsi Center, our Native American and Alaska Native and Native Hawaiian Center, that she serves clients in Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. Welcome, Karen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Monica.
And then we also have Cerilia here, who is our project director on Ascend Phoenix. And she has also been one of our client businesses. So we're excited to do business with you and have you help us do business.
I am so excited to be part of this program. I love helping small businesses, and this program gives me a chance to do that.
I love it. I can feel her energy. That is so awesome. We're all excited here. We're doing this for the first time. But, when we think about kind of the local Ascend Phoenix, we know that in year one, Alika Kumar, our executive director of our Phoenix MBDA Business Center, was critical in really helping us kind of piece this together. And you all have done an amazing job of making sure that we're constantly evolving. And what I love about the Ascend program is that we are able to adjust it according to market needs. So Karen, can you tell us a little bit about the adjustments that we've seen here in Arizona?
Well, some of those adjustments, I have to say, have to take place and are due in part because of our partnerships. Change right now because of COVID is inevitable. There's so many different things that we're doing right now in terms of collaboration. As a project director of Nabedsi, I look to you, Monica, as our leader of the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. You are utilizing internal resources, external partnerships to bring everybody together. So when we talk about like wraparound services for our community, we have, like you said, Alika Kumar, who's with the Phoenix MBDA Business Center, my team, Saria, the work that she's doing, including our community partners. And what we're able to do is we're able to connect those dots. Collaboration is absolutely critical during this time. Mm-hmm. So that's some of the things that we're doing in terms of those partnerships and those relationships and bringing it together. Two, we're able to tap into our relationships with Michael Vershow and his network, Saria and her work that she's doing on the outside as well, and bringing in those connections. So all in all, what we're trying to do with our community is have them entrust us with the work that we're doing, mm-hmm. the partnerships that we currently have, and just really making sure that they remain strong, especially during this time. Right. So this Ascend network and this Ascend project, I believe it's absolutely critical to our small businesses.
And Karen, you have been pivotal in making sure that we're meeting these clients where they are. If something isn't working, you've been responsible for helping us shift and pivot very quickly. How important is it for businesses that you're working with to be able to pivot, and what have you seen in working with some of these businesses?
I think right now, the most beneficial in terms of the pivoting strategy that we offer is that one-on-one assistance. So when we're seeing them pivot and change their strategies, we're seeing people go from having services inside their offices, now they're doing delivery services. We're seeing people who have never had an online presence before now have a strong online presence. So they are doing everything that they can to make sure that that revenue is continuing, and they're pivoting their services.
Wonderful, thank you. And as many of you know, we had our Power of the Purse event last week that was wildly successful, and we heard about how a lot of women are pivoting. But one of the other things we heard is how women are legitimizing their side hustles, right? All of a sudden, women, minority owners will often have different, what I call business lines, but really there's like side hustles, right? There's side hustles. So, Cerelia, you're kind of an expert in that because you've taken multiple side hustles and really legitimized them as your own business. Now, working with business owners through our Ascent Phoenix, you're our project director, you're our taskmaster. She makes sure that we are all doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing and meeting our numbers. What have you found in working with these businesses?
Okay. I really love the 3M model because it really focuses on the businesses, on the areas of where things are really just like, out of touch. We need to get back in there. So we work with businesses on the money piece. Even before before COVID-19, businesses were having issues, getting funding so they can expand their businesses. Also with management, how do we train our employees to do the work that we need them to do, but also take their careers to the next level? And then you have the markets. Where do we go? It's not just about the markets, local markets, but what about expanding into the public areas? And then also what about expanding, exporting your business outside the country as well. So we're helping those businesses in those 3 areas, and the money part and the management part, and as well as expanding their businesses outside of Phoenix into the exporting piece of it as well.
Right. That's fantastic. And you're really driving us and making sure that we're meeting all those deliverables. We've got some pretty ambitious goals that you help us kind of stay on top of, and that's absolutely critical. What's it been like for you? Because you have a project management business. One of the many businesses that, and one of the many things that you do is you have this project management business. How has it been for you being on both sides kind of the table, right? Because you're pulling us together, making sure that all of our project management is being done, but you're also refining your business, right? It's helping you and you're helping us with your business. So it's a nice reciprocal relationship.
Exactly. And like you said, I'm learning things about my business that I would never have looked at because of Ascent Phoenix. And then taking like I said, the 3M model and helping businesses where they're at with their needs, whether it's money, market, and management. I mean, it kind of, it works, and, as far as when businesses come back and say, hey, we got this PPP loan, we can expand, or, we just got a big contract with the government, it all just helps, the economy, our partners and everything that we're doing here at the Arizona Hispanic Chamber to grow these businesses and take them to the next level.
Well, I couldn't be more grateful to both of you. I am a big Jim Collins fan, and he always says, not only do you have to have the right people on the bus, but you have to have them in the right seats. And I am convinced that with both of you, we have everyone in the right seats, and it's a powerful team. And we're going to talk a little bit more about our education partners. So as we get Sheridan mic'd up from Thunderbird ASU, we're going to bring into the conversation Erica Woods from DeVry Institute and DeVry University. And we've done things a little bit different, I think, and Michael can attest to this, but what we decided to do is say, look, we're not going to work with just one education partner. There are so many great education partners right here in our backyard. We want to work with each one of them and make sure that we're driving deep relationships instead of just, driving the deep relationships, but also the horizontal relationships, so that we're working with a lot of our different partners. And we felt that that model was critical for us. We know that business owners don't have a lot of time. They don't have a lot of spare time or energy to invest in themselves when it comes to education. So the fact that we can actually work with different universities to meet the needs of our clients has been a critical part of our success. And we hope part of the decision that JP Morgan Chase made to invest in us. So I'm going to ask Erica, as Sheridan's getting mic'd up right now, I'm going to ask Erica to come into the conversation and talk a little bit about the work that we're doing with you through DeVry and what your experience has been.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, everyone. DeVry University is honored to partner with Ascent Phoenix program through the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Through this partnership, DeVry is excited to present a series of 9 professional growth workshops to our business community leaders and employees, covering topics such as resolving workplace conflicts, time management strategies, empowering collaboration, a guide to engaging across generations, building a career framework, upskilling the sustainable success in the workplace, the power of service and creating positive interaction, managing your team through change, and navigating projects and tasks with project management skills. This professional growth series begins this June 2021, and we look so forward to connecting with and making a positive impact in our community.
Erica, thank you so much for being part of the Ascend Phoenix. All of our partners make us better, and we're so glad that you are part of our village and helping us help small businesses scale and grow. I also want to bring into the conversation Sheridan at this time. Sheridan is a director over at Thunderbird ASU and has been working with us on building out a curriculum. So one of the things that has been sort of, a challenge for us is we're not education experts. So we go to folks like you and Erica to make sure that we're building out a curriculum that makes sense from an education standpoint. What has your experience been with the Ascend Phoenix? Because I know we worked with you last year.
Right. So first of all, thank you for having us. It's been a wonderful opportunity for Thunderbird, and the Thunderbird ASU partnership has been fantastic. We talked a little bit about the 3M model. I like to think about this partnership as sort of a 3I model also. Yeah. And by that I mean, there's a little bit of inspiration, actually a lot of inspiration from the team here in Phoenix. There's the investment component, which is so incredibly amazing from JP Morgan. And then there is the institutional or the information component, and that's exactly what you're asking about here. And really, where we delve into that is to take a look at that daily strategy or that informational component that's necessary, and the feedback that we get from those businesses, which really comes from Saria and her team on a daily basis. It's really a ground up strategy, and it's built upon what those businesses need each day to make them successful. So last year we started out with a program based upon building a capability statement, and it's really the single most essential component of getting your business out there. It's the necessary component of securing a government contract. And really the first and foremost thing that within that 2 weeks that we talked about, that 2-week float of securing capital and really getting back to business after a very critical time period like these businesses experienced during the pandemic, it's really what was pivotal for them to get back out there and gain these contracts. And so our initial program focused on creating a capability statement. this coming year, we're creating a much larger vision for these businesses because technology has allowed them to experience business via Zoom and a whole new version of doing business and operating on a daily basis that they probably had never considered. We've all never considered before. So we're looking at a different view and a different marketplace for them. So this year we'll be talking about going global.
Wow, that's exciting. I think our businesses are so grateful for your help, for the help of the entire team, but this is why it's so important to create that surround sound support for all businesses. Being able to put together a capability statement is, as you said, one of the most essential things. And even before the pandemic, you know, that was the need, right? Because that's kind of your first impression to contractors, being able to show them who you are and what you can do. And you can't take back a first impression. So it has to be a good one, right?
That's right.
And you all have been critical in helping us do that. And we're very, very grateful. And I think at this time, we'd really like to talk to some of the businesses. Let's find out, you know, what's working for them, how their experience has been in this business. Again, this is a very large investment for us at the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce from JP Morgan Chase. And, you know, we've worked with the best of the best to make sure that we're optimizing our program and the investment of our partner at JP Morgan Chase. So what I'd like to do is speak a little bit to two of our business owners. The first one is Aisha Tedros from AT Oasis. She is on a Zoom with us. And Aisha, if I could have you unmute yourself, we'd love to hear from you. We've worked with you in many different ways and through many of our different business units, and you have been phenomenal. And I can just tell you all now, if you haven't been to Aisha's Cafe, her and Mohammed do an amazing job. Order the sambusas. Those are my favorite. Order the sambusas. Aisha, specifically with Ascend Phoenix, the program that you've been going through, can you share your experience with us?
Thank you for having me, and hello. It's good morning to see everybody, and I'm so happy to see you all. And thank you for having me here. Ascent has been very helpful. It gave us opportunity to do a pitch with the bigger company that we've been trying to get in touch for a long time, and we're hoping we'll do business. So Ascent has been helping us, and all of you guys, Karen, Alika, Monica, all of you guys, the Spanish Chamber, everybody has been very helpful. And Ascent is a great program to help small businesses, and we are very thankful to be part of it. And it's been helping us, and we're happy that you guys all there for us and keep going.
Wonderful, Aisha. Thank you so much. Was there a specific class or program or moment through Ascend Phoenix that you feel really kind of helped you shape doing business during the pandemic? Because your industry was one of the most hardest hit, being a cafe and having to close your doors. I know that was very, very difficult, but you had other lines of businesses as well, because you create your own products, you create your own coffee. How did Ascend Phoenix help you in those ways?
Yeah, our biggest thing is it helped us to pivot our business. The idea of everything to do from doing online. We used to do online too, but now our online is more bigger. Ascent help extend everything for everybody to grab and go, and for everybody to come and support us. It was huge. It put our name out there for everybody that they didn't know us to get to know us. And it helped us put through a pitch to do with Kroger. And Kroger is a big company. It's a company that we want to put our packaged coffees there. So to sell our coffee nationwide. We have a great product that we import from Ethiopia, directly from local farmers, and we roast our coffee in Phoenix. So we have a huge market in that, and that's what we want to get in. And we got a big pitch to talk to Kroger salesmen and buyers, and that was a big opportunity. And we're hoping we'll do business with them soon.
That's huge, and the fact that we could help do that through Ascend Phoenix as well. So no pressure, Kroger, but if you're listening, we really like Aisha's coffee. So please share it in your stores. I'm going to shift over to Dennis Yellowhorse from UMate International. Dennis, you have also been part of the Ascend Phoenix program and would like to hear a little bit about your experience. And I think you're muted, Dennis.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir.
I apologize for wearing this neck brace. I had some minor surgery. And,
no worries, no
so
worries.
I have to dress up like Herman Munster here for the next,
We're glad
weeks.
you could join us.
Yeah, well, thank you for inviting me. And I want to thank you and Karen and Peter Schwartz for helping me in my time of need during COVID. I produce minerals for organic agriculture from the Navajo Nation, and it's used for agriculture and soil remediation. It's very unique to the world, and I ship them worldwide. And due to the COVID, we have been completely shut down because of the location where we produce the minerals is on the Navajo Nation. And I don't know if you've all been familiar how hard the COVID virus hit the Navajo people. It was extremely difficult. We were under quarantine, in just difficult terms to try to do business. And we struggled for several months. And I want to thank the Chamber, and I want to thank everybody that helped us by giving us some guidance and also some financial assistance in keeping our company going. So we're getting back on our feet. Check out our website, humate.com. That's humate.com. And you'll find it very interesting. We are an Arizona-based company, and I want to thank everybody for letting me participate. And unfortunately, I got to run to a doctor's appointment, or I can stay longer with you. But
no worries, Dennis. Thank you so much. We're wishing you good health. And thank you so much for being part of the Ascend Phoenix team. I'm going to shift over to one more business owner. I know we're running a little bit over on time, but we have some Q&A as well. I want to make sure we don't miss out on speaking to Shauna Fantasia of Falcon Engineering, who is just a phenomenal partner and part of the Ascend Phoenix program. I'm wanting to make sure that she is on the line. Did we see her on there? Okay, great. Shauna, can you hear us?
Absolutely. I can hear you, Monica.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I know we had some wonderful success stories with you. Can you share with us, I know one of the things was the contract with the state government on the PPEs and how you shifted. You're an engineering firm and all of a sudden you were hiring seamstresses to come to your location. It's a wonderful success story. Can you share that with us?
Absolutely. So Falcon Engineering, we're kind of a niche. We're one of the only small businesses in the US that does hardware and textile manufacturing for the military. Some various groups had won contracts to make PPE gowns, but didn't have the expertise. And so we were actually contacted by the state to help fill those orders. The governor flew KC-135s out to North Carolina to go pick up fabric. We were meeting the military in the middle of the night. They were dropping off fabric. And let me tell you, I could not have done it without Ascend. We had to onboard 30 sewers in a week. And Karen was at our facility helping to do all the HR paperwork so that we could get all the sewers processed. So we actually added a total of 75 employees during the pandemic. The gowns that we made teamed up with Angel Flights, and DuPont donated fabric. And so we were sewing gowns for the Navajo Nation. The Angel Flight would pick them up on our airport and fly them out to various groups throughout the country. And then additionally, we were supporting groups like Banner making gowns, and we're now making gowns for a hospital network out in California. Additionally, at that time, Karen helped connect us, with funding groups, because despite, growth, we were still hit with economic injuries due to COVID, slow supply of materials and things like that. And then so even right now we're in talks with Chase and Prestimos, about new market tax credits as a hub zone company. And so Ascend was on the ground at our facility helping to, get people in the doors and processed. And so our doctors and nurses could have the gowns that they needed. And then so we've had support in that manner. And as far as opportunities, I know Ascend is always sending us, different contract opportunities out in the marketplace. Right now, we actually have a $23 million backlog of work.
Wow, that's amazing. That's incredible. Your ability to really shift during the pandemic is, I was hearing the story, from Karen as it was happening. And I remember her, in the middle of the night, she's like, I've got to go over there and I've got to do some of that HR work. Is that okay? And yes, whatever we need. But that's a wonderful success story. Thank you so much for sharing, Shauna. I hope you'll stay on the line as well. We've got some Q&A. Before we go to the Q&A from the press, we've got quite a few folks with us. English and Spanish, bienvenidos a todos de la prensa también. We're very happy to have you all here with us. As you can see, it does take quite a village. You heard in the beginning of the show what Ascend is all about, and announced the big investment that JP Morgan Chase is making in the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce to run the Ascend Phoenix program. You heard from Michael Vershow and sort of how he designed this entire program, and it exists across the country. And then you heard from our education partners and how we're implementing this here locally. And finally, you heard from these wonderful 3 businesses, our success stories. There are many more, but at this time, I'd like to do our quick check presentation. I know we have a slide, and so normally we would be, pre-COVID, we would be in the same room, and we would do this big drum roll, and we would do the check presentation. Today we actually have a slide that will go up on the screen, and again, we want to thank everyone at JP Morgan Chase for making this possible, for allowing us to do our job better and enabling us. I know it's been very, very difficult for all of all banking partners with the PPP going on, with all of your different programs, but you did not hesitate. You participated with us, you invested in us, you continue to do so, and you expect a lot from us for that $475,000, and we want to make you proud. We're going to continue to deliver. Thank you all again so much for being part of this program. I'm going to open it up to any questions from the press. I know we actually have one here in a studio as well, and so at this point, I'd like to open it up and see if there are any questions. There should be a Q&A box, or you could put it in the chat box. Either way, we're here to answer those questions. I know that post-pandemic, there are a lot of these programs, and it's really a matter of which one is working, and how to best be able to provide you with all of the resources that we have here as part of the Ascend Phoenix program. I think we have one question that's coming through on the Q&A, and they would like to know how long is this program scheduled to continue? I think that's a Michael Vershow question. Michael, I know, and I don't want to put anyone on the spot, certainly not our big funders, but in a perfect world, is there a sort of phase 2, a phase 3? How do you see this rolling out? Because I know you're thinking way ahead of the next 2 years.
Yeah, so the way we think about it, right, is that we want to build these sustainable ecosystems, right? So yeah, it's wonderful that Chase is supporting this financially. and that's absolutely needed. But at the end of the day, what will happen is that these ecosystems will continue beyond Chase. Other funders will come on board. Organizations will learn to work together in ways that they haven't before. So for sure, right, we're looking at the next 3 years as a transition period from proving that this model works, which you all have already demonstrated, to moving it to a sustainable, ongoing model. Again, very much like you see models that are around biotech or information technology industries. So the idea is that these will become permanent and ongoing systems.
Great, fantastic. And we really appreciate that, because it's something we're always looking to build sustainability. We talk to our business owners all the time about succession planning. So we need to be able to practice what we preach and create our own succession planning for this program as well. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Another question for our business owners. Did you participate in any other programs while you were involved with Ascent Phoenix? And what were the main differences in the program? So whether it's Aisha or Shauna, I think Dennis has left us, but can either one of you speak to, did you participate in other programs, and what was the biggest difference with this one? Aisha?
Okay. So I get, like, from the Hispanic Chamber, from MBDA and Ascent. They're all there to help us and serve us. And the best thing is it's the same people helping us and serving us. So for me, they're all do great job. They're all been there for me in my bad time, in the time that I need them. And I really appreciate them. And it mean a lot to me as a business owner. They run for me in the time that I needed them. So, and I wouldn't see much difference, but it was a big thing for me. I wanted to put my coffees international, and I have a great product to be in the whole America. And Ascent helped me to put that out there, to get it to the store, to help me to get it to the stores, and that my customers can be anywhere. I ship everywhere right now, and my customers can just go get the coffee from the store. And that's a big hope that I had, and a big thing that I wanted, that it gave me the pitch to present my product. And that was big for me. And
those pitches are critical, because they give you a very small amount of time, and you have to be able to present it.
And it was my first time doing that pitch. And I got a lot of help from all of you guys, Karen, Alika, Monica, everybody was there to help me. So I really appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. Shauna, what about you? Did you participate in any other programs? And did you see what was the main difference in participating with Ascent Phoenix?
I've actually had the opportunity to work with several different programs. And one big difference I saw is boots on the ground. That this is one of the rare opportunities where I actually had somebody at our facility, like I said, actually doing and helping instead of just a phone call. And I will tell you, Ascend Phoenix, I know Karen is on her phone and calling and supporting middle of the night. I don't know if she ever sleeps.
She does it.
I have one thing to add to that. I'm sorry if that's okay.
Go ahead, Aisha.
Speaking about Karen is the best. She's known for that. She will not sleep. She will wake up in the middle of the night and help her clients. So she go out beyond, and I really thank her for that. And that's a big touch to all of us. And she have done that for me too many times. She have come to me. She have not sleep all night to help me make sure prepare my bid. So thank you, Karen, and thanks to all of you, but she is special in that. And I just wanna let everybody know that when she does it from her heart.
Oh, thank you, Aisha.
Thank you
so much. We really appreciate it. And to all of you, I know we've come to the end of our time together. We are available. This video will be available to you as well for all those in the press, in case you missed it, or you want your colleagues to see it, or you want to just replay it. What you've learned today is that Ascend Phoenix is absolutely critical for the success of small businesses, minority-owned businesses here in Arizona. At the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, we are a proud steward of this program. Our people live it, as you can tell. They live and breathe it, but they never sleep. So we don't sleep it. And we are so grateful to JP Morgan Chase for this investment. And we're looking forward to being able to share many more success stories with you. Thank you so much to all of our education partners as well, all of our success businesses, and all of our guests today that have been able to share the success of Ascend Phoenix. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.